Joining us.
Good morning, Annette. Always nice to see you.
It is a hot market out there, unlike the weather at -20 this morning. Homes are selling and fast and way above asking. This just doesn't seem to end, does it?
No, and I appreciate. I talk to a lot of people. I reach out to our community, and a lot of people are very frustrated with the market. And we have to say, as we've said time and time again, we do not create the market. I will honestly say that every realtor who is out there right now, I am speaking on their behalf, we do not like this market. And so what we are seeing right now is a huge influx of the fact that we were so flat for so long that the market just can't keep up now because people realize that Ottawa is a safe market and it's a strong market. So the January stats came out,
Yeah.
and what we saw from this year from last year was an increase of 13% alone for a condo. So the average condo price was just over 380,000, and now it's up a lot more. And even our residential, we have seen such growth even in just 1 month. The Ottawa Real Estate Board has quoted that we are up 10% in 1 month, where the Ottawa real estate normally is up 6% in 1 year. And so
Wow.
to go up 10% in 1 month, we're just seeing that the supply is not meeting the demand. And as realtors, again, we don't control the supply and demand. And so we are doing our best in order to try and hopefully create a more stable market.
Yeah.
So the average real estate residential home right now is up over $677,000 right now.
It's quite remarkable. I remember we talked a few years ago, numbers were far lower than that. That is
Yeah.
immense growth, and it's a snowball effect, isn't it? If someone sells a home on your street and it sells really well, that is a domino effect for what's going to happen in the other homes in the neighborhood. I want to ask about the bidding wars because this seems to be, I mean, homes are going way above, and I'm not talking 50,000. We're talking well over $100,000 for a home that's maybe listed at 500,000. How can you win that bidding war?
So again, it is a frustrating market, and I feel for anyone who is out there listening. Like, we are not creating this market. The market, it just is existing the way that it does. And so with bidding wars, what is happening right now is that the supply, again, does not meet the demand. And so if we price a home, let's say, in Nepean for 500,000, it's because we strongly believe that the home is worth about 500,000. Yet, because there is a lack of demand, the rule of thumb is that every realtor by law needs to work for the best interests of their seller. And so what we are seeing right now is a clause that you will see consistently throughout the Auto Real Estate Board called holding back offers.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is that literally what it sounds like, we are holding back offers for 3 days, 5 days. It depends on the on the realtor and their choice, as well as possibly even the seller's schedule. And so at
And
a
what does
certain
that
date,
holding
let's say,
back do, Colleen? If you hold it back 3 days, and then let's say it's on the Friday at 6 o'clock, everybody who wants that, because there's not enough inventory, everybody's gunning for that house. There's not enough houses for sale. So if you've listed at 500,000 at 5 o'clock on that Friday, the seller can take those offers and look at them. How do they decide? How does that come out then?
so again, a very stressful time, and I appreciate that everybody finds it stressful. So with definition, the fact that because there's a lack of inventory, again, by law, realtors have to work for their sellers. And so people have the opportunity to go see the home during a certain amount of days, and then they go in and put in their best offer. And it's not going back and forth and literally kind of like poker where
Mm.
everybody puts in their best card and may the best person win. Sometimes, and again, talking to your realtor professional, it depends on all your different clauses. Are you putting in a finance clause? Are you putting in an inspection clause? Are you having to deal with selling another home? And we have spoken many times, Annette, that many of the times those clauses don't work. So
Right.
not necessarily is it always the highest price. It's the one that says, you know what, I want your home. I'm willing to take it. My financing is good, which
Yeah.
is what I always tell everyone to
Have in
deal with.
place. Yeah.
And I've already done your building inspection. I've had enough
Right.
time. Your house has been on the market. We've already done all our inspections, so
Yeah.
I'm good.
So essentially, instead of that going back and forth, whoever comes up at 5 o'clock on that Friday with the best offer wins. Okay, we've got a lot to talk about, Colleen. We're going to take a quick commercial break. There's all the information on your screen, folks, if you'd like to get a question to call. Coming in from April. April writes, Colleen, is the commission rate for agents negotiable?
It's a great question. And April, thanks so much for reaching out. Everyone is caught up on commission, and I understand that. And it's a matter of what value are you looking at. If you are a buyer, we often say as well, if you are a buyer in this market, understand that realtors work free. So we get paid by the seller, and so that's something that you can talk about definitely with your realtor. The other conversation that we often have is if you are a seller and a buyer, sometimes you'll have that conversation regarding, working out a commission that works out both with your realtor and the seller. One thing I often ask my clients is the fact, what's important to you? Because not all realtors, and I talk about this a lot, not all realtors are the same. Because even we talked about on the last show, there was a home that didn't sell at a discount commission, and yet we sold it for over what it used to be sold for full commission. And so it depends on really in the fact that, do you want full service? Do you want staging? Do you want videography? Do you want those things that are going to make you stand out in the market to get you the best price? And so it's an ongoing dialogue that is multifaceted and multi-layered. And I hope that answers your question, April.
What is the commission right now, Colleen?
The average commission in Ottawa right now is 5%, 2.5 to the buying side and 2.5 to the selling side.
Okay. We have another question coming in, this one from Susan. Susan writes, is it worth the investment to redo your bathrooms before you sell?
I love this question, Susan, and it's one of the most commonly asked questions in the industry, and 100% yes. And so what I encourage you to do, and what we do on the team all the time with myself and with my agents, is the fact that if you know that you are selling, then you can do your bathroom, you can do your kitchen, and make it look pretty and get 120 to 200% back on your investment. And so you can do big box stores bathrooms. It doesn't have to be high end. Yet I strongly encourage people to do their bathrooms, do their kitchens, because buyers make the decision on whether they're going to buy your home within 10 seconds of walking in that door. And then they need to have the overall effect. If they think that they have to invest in a bathroom for $30,000, when I know professionally and personally you can do a bathroom for 10 grand, why not do that?
Okay.
And then add to the wow factor of your home. So flooring, bathrooms, kitchens, those are things that absolutely get your return. Create that plan with your realtor. Reach out to any member of my team if you wish. Create that plan so that we can know what we can do in order to get the best staging and the best price for your home.
Colleen, good advice. We will continue this conversation. We have more questions coming in. One from Greg. Greg writes, I have a tenant who is moving out at the beginning of March. Is it better to wait until they move out, or should I list now? What do you think, Colleen?
Okay, that's an absolutely fabulous question, and I love that someone asked this. And so thank you, Greg. So there are many things happening, and right now, because of all the equity that people have in their homes, we have been running even workshops on how to invest into real estate. And so this tenant has a twofold kind of question. So number one, due to COVID rules, you have to have a conversation with your tenant, because your tenant has a lot of rights right now that we didn't have before COVID. And so he can refuse showings. So if he or she can refuse showings. And so if your tenant is refusing showings, then you obviously have to wait. Yet, if your tenant is okay with it, because of the demand in the market, we are seeing homes that look lesser than perfect, to put politely, and still going on the market due to the area. I think it's a good conversation to have, knowing what your demand is, Greg, in your neighborhood. Obviously, pricing it smartly as well as right at market value, and having the conversation with your tenant if they are okay with people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, your tenant would have to say, yes, just 24 hours notice. And that still applies, that your tenant must get 24-hour notice before any showing. And yet, if they are not comfortable due to COVID rules and the fact that they are going to be exposed with people coming in, then you will have to wait. So it's, again, a multi-layered question, but a great question.
Yes,
Thank you, Greg.
certainly a question that wouldn't be the same if we were not in the pandemic. So a good one for a lot of people. We have another one coming in from Marisol. Are the realtors able to tell us, the buyers, what the highest bid is in order to have a chance at getting a home?
I love this question, Marisol. I have this question all the time with my clients. And so, Marisol, let's just have a one-on-one dialogue. If Marisol was in front of me, this would be the conversation. Hey, Marisol, I'm glad that you're in love with this home. Let's have a look at the comparables. Okay? I don't want anyone overbidding on a home. And yet, we have several different conversations happening in the market right now. We have just discussed in the fact that there are very few homes. And we have buyers right now. All my colleagues will say they need to buy. They're moving into Ottawa. They have a new job here in Ottawa, or they've given notice to their landlord, like we just talked with Greg. So there are many different reasons why people buy. And so, Marisol, I would be saying, we found you're really excited about this home at 123 Main Street. What is it worth to you? I will never let my buyers overpay. And yet we have seen time and time again, just because of the pent up demand, that people are not overpaying. It's just that the market correction is so skewed.
Yeah.
So with a particular, if Marisol was buying 123 Main Street, we would look at all the comparables, figure out what the market value is, and then guide her as to, are there two offers on the table, or, and I've seen this just last week, are there 37 offers on the table? And what we call on the brokerage, I teach my agents, called the cringe factor. Marisol, what does this house mean to you? If you're looking at a townhome, end unit, open concept, and it's everything that you dreamed, and it's got no rear neighbors, beautiful forest, and this is the home that you've always dreamt for, what does it mean to you? If we lose it for $5,000, is that okay? So are we going to put a bid at $550? And if you lose it at $551, is that okay with you? And if, Marisol, you say, yeah, it's okay with me, then we know we take what I refer to as a cringe factor.
Yeah.
And so
that's a great way to look at it. Like, how much would you be willing to lose it for? A conversation that's pretty important to have with clients. That's why, it's important to talk to a realtor. This market is so fast-paced right now. And people like you, Colleen, I mean, this is what you do 24/7. So for folks who are looking to list or buy, I mean, this is why it's so important to lean into the expertise of those in the real estate market right now. So Colleen, thank you so much for putting your information up on our screen so that all of our viewers can go ahead and make an informed decision.